Okay, now I'll go through a very short example of the evaluation. Okay, when you see the question, right, make sure you highlight the expectation, the statement. In this case, the statement here is Hitler's rise to power. And then they give you a factor due to favorable circumstance. So if you agree, you have to link it to this favorable circumstance was the reason he rose to power. If you happen to disagree, then please give me alternative factors on this same topic on why Hitler rose to power. And according to what you have learned, this normally will fall under his abilities. Right? So you must be very clear on your alternative points. Okay? And when you explain, right, your explanation has to link very clearly to this. Alright? To rising to power. Make the link back to why this helped him to rise to power. So for example, when I look at this source, right, let's see, it's mainly talking about the Weimar government. So it's the same thing as what we did previously, correct? So Weimar government was making a hopeless mess of handling the situation, and this has led people who never bothered to vote before now starting to become interested in politics. Okay, there's rising unemployment, growing poverty, and people are starting to get worried of the raising taxes, cutting wages, and reducing of unemployment benefits. Hardly anything that can help win support of the German people. In this case, it is not talking about Hitler, mostly it's talking about the weakness of the Weimar government. So according to this question here, this source would not agree. Would agree. Yes, it would agree that the reason for Hitler to rise to power was due to the favorable circumstances. And what is this? This will be the weakness of the Weimar government. Alright. So now we look at the answer here. And let's see how they wrote it down. So first the ATQ, right? Agree. Source C agrees. ATQ. Clear use of which, telling me which source you are using. The full statement is written down here. Hitler's rose to power is due to favorable circumstances inside Germany. Then here I have my relevant evidence, which I already quoted just now. So relevant evidence listed down. Alright. They are poor, hopeless mess of the economic situation. They left a hopeless mess of the economic situation. And they resulted in people, right, being voting for the election. So what does this mean? What does hopeless mess of the economic situation mean? Well, it implies that the Weimar government is indeed incompetent and weak. And you see here, this is in my own words. Have to extend using my own words. This is Ayawa in my own words. Okay, so what if they are incompetent and weak? Is it enough to say that because they are incompetent and weak, Hitler rose to power? No, you have not extended fully yet. You must give me some more. What is the outcome of being incompetent and weak? Leading, because it will lead to the worsening of their lives. All right. This is my explanation. One thing leads to another. Incompetent and weak leads to a worsening of the German citizens' life. Is it enough? Have I answered the question about rising to power? No, I have not. I must include one more link. Okay, so one more time. Incompetent and weak Weimar government leading to the weakness of their lives, leading to the shift of support. Yes, because their lives have been worsened. Hence, they will indeed shift their support from the Weimar to alternative parties like the Nazis, because they believe the Nazis can help alleviate the situation. Yes, this is clearly seen in my evidence over here, right? Right, the people were initially not interested in the Nazis, but now they are involved, meaning that they are shifting support. Okay? Because of the incompetence and weakness of the Weimar, it has led to the worsening of people's lives, and therefore, because of this, they started to shift their support from the Weimar government to the alternative parties, including the Nazis, because of the key messages that the Nazis can indeed alleviate their situation. And this is one of the reasons why Hitler rose to power. Okay, so can you see the steps that I did over here? You have to make sure that your evidence, you can extend the evidence well enough to link to this point of the outcome which is in the statement, Hitler's rise to power. So again, just to repeat myself, it's not enough to just say that the Weimar is incompetent and weak, because a weak and incompetent government is not fully explained yet about why Hitler rose to power. Alright, you must say, because incompetent and weak, therefore people's life became worse. So what if people's life became worse? When people's life became worse, Hitler will rise to power, as there will start to be a shifting of support from the Weimar to alternative like the Hitler Party. Therefore, this is why the source agrees that Hitler's rise was due to favorable circumstance. So you see, my explanation has made a very clear link back to my statement. And the focus of my statement is again Hitler's rise to power. Now one more for the disagreement, okay? I'll just skip the source. So for your disagreement, you must give me the alternative, right? So Hitler does not agree. So ATQ does not agree. Here I have ATQ. Does not agree that Hitler's rise to power was the result. So write the full statement. Hitler's rise to power was the result of favorable circumstances. Why does not agree? Because then give me the alternative point. It was due to his own ability. So clearly I'm writing down the alternative point here. Okay. Let's look at the source here. What does it say about Hitler here? He speaks from the heart, right? So it says here, Hitler speaks from the heart, reaches the hearts of those who hear him. He has the gift of sensing the needs of the people, natural ability to express things clearly and convince people that he have always thought about them, right? He has the ability to reach the masses, is unique and remarkable. So here, clearly it is his own ability. It is not the external circumstances that led to his rise, but it's his own charisma. So write it down, his own charisma. Okay, alternative point listed down in the first line, second line, third line, give my evidence. He has the amazing gift, blah, blah, blah. Okay, amazing gift to express things clearly to listeners. So what does this mean, right? It clearly means that he can empathize, right? He can clearly express people's thoughts well. Meaning this clearly means, in my own words again, he can exactly identify and empathize with people's problem. Empathizer. He can empathize and clearly identify with people's problem. Okay, so what else? Why is it that he can sense the need? Alright, because from my explanation, he can sense the need because he actually promised. Inside his speeches, he promised employment from workers, protection from communists and businessmen, and a better life for their children and the women. And all these messages are appealing, right? They are appealing to the masses and will lead to increased confidence. Again, you must link it to rise to power. Rise to power equals to support. How does his ability lead to support for him from the people? Yes. So firstly, again, because he can empathize with people by making all these promises to help alleviate their poverty, it will lead to them being appealed, right, to Hitler himself and lead to them having increased confidence in him. And because of this increased confidence in him, that is why they will vote for the Nazi Party during the election. And once they vote for the Nazi Party, it will indirectly lead to, it will definitely lead to his rise. So therefore, in your explanation, right, you have to be very clear. You have to link everything that is being said in the evidence, all right, as to why this leads to an increase in people's support. For him, because people's support for him is leading to them voting for him, and when they vote for him, that is when he will rise to power. So link your evidence to how this led to increase in people's support, because he can meet their needs, because he can make promises and all these things, and hence this make people like him. And when they like him because of the empathy that he has for them, they will start to support him, which means that they will start to vote for him, which means that it is indeed his speeches that led to him rising to power. All right, so the link has to be there. All right, you have to make the link clear to his rise to power, and that is how you answer the evaluation question. That is why the explanation is crucial. You have to make the link and make the extension to the outcome that the question is asking for, and in this case the question is asking for the outcome of Hitler's rise to power. All right, so do take some time to absorb this so that you can do the evaluation question well and you won't end up wasting time.